Welcome to the AABA Pro-Am Basketball League. This is Rich Elmoyne alongside Alec Karamanian for our second game in our quadruple header in our last week of AABA Pro-Am regular season. Alec, way to see you again.
Great to see you, Rich.
Tonight's match, Kilikia and Avan. Kilikia out of the playoffs already. All said has been done. And Avan, on the other hand, is fighting for a higher seeding position. And Armenian shoots it first. Sokol with the rebound. Alec, we have, for the first weekend ever, 3 NBA referees here at the AABA. You watched the first game. You commentated as well. How is it significantly different? Because I feel it already.
It's such a big difference, Rich. The professionalism for these 3 referees, which it just starts with their mannerisms, being in the right spots. People don't realize these things when they watch a casual game, but they've been on point.
Definitely. And our 3 NBA referees, Musa Dagger, Justin De Bruyne, and Van Doyne. And already Avan has opened up 4-0. And Kilikia wearing yellow, Avan wearing the blue, the powder blue. As Armenian goes up, easy lay with the right hand on the left-hand side. Kilikia has opened their scorecard for today. Starting lineup for Avan with the ball, Ali Kairapetian passes Sokol, now to Haragya Zigian. Rene Gonzalez at number 1, Alex McCurchin at number 14. For Kilikia, number 11, Chris Armenian, number 0, Harut Tahanian. Sion Cobra at number 33. Arian Amanas at number 17, and at number 2, Edgman Rostomian. And Alec, we've seen a lot of AABA Pro-Am Basketball League in the past. Any team can beat any team on a given day. How important is that when you're coming into a game? What kind of mentality are you coming in with?
Oh, it's huge, Rich, knowing that when you look on the other side and they're missing a few players, for example, Avan missing 2 huge pieces today, Cole and Kaluna. I mean, you have to feel, if you're Kilikia, if you just keep this game close enough, you have a chance, even though you're missing one of your best players in Arman Pezeshkian also.
Indeed. Rostomian with the ball, brings it up on the left-hand side, guarded by Kairapetian. Pass it to Cobra. Cobra's guarded by Sokol. Brings it to the right side, fadeaway shot, tough one, no good. Rostomian with the rebound nonetheless. Armenian now has it, 12 seconds on the shot clock. Guarded by Kairapetian, great pass to the corner, cutting his Pezeshkian. Armenian has to get a shot off, 5 seconds left, no good, but Tahanian is there with the rebound. And referee Musa Dagger finds the error before it can be communicated to him, and the ball had touched the rim. The shot clock had not renewed. Already the quality of the referees being shown. Communication is a big factor, Alec, when it comes to refereeing. Oftentimes people think, when you're judging on a side, you shouldn't communicate, but
huge piece, Rich, huge piece. When they all are on sync, when they're all on the same page, it just shows you that, they're all seeing the same thing develop together.
Precisely. Yazigian with the foul. Gets his first one. Harut Tahanian, one of the high flyers of this league, able to dunk above the rim. Shown him many times, as he did in warm-ups today as well. Tahanian, formerly with the Armen's Basketball Club, won a championship there in fall 2022 with Coach Viken Eskidjian, which, by the way, Alec, Coach V. Eskidjian now with the LA Ignite, part of the management and head coaching position. A new professional club in Los Angeles, spearheaded by Philip McDonald and Gary Chavicchian.
Rich, seeing that news break a couple of days ago, I believe, it's really just, you love seeing people within the AABA getting their opportunities in their own way, and it truly has grown, both on the court as a player, from our coaches to the staff. It's just been a great thing to see.
Indeed. Can't forget about our friend Anthony Garb, now at ESPN. Zando Armenian at Fox NFL. Tahanian with the rebound, finds Cobra. Wide open three-pointer. We're going to see it. It's going to go in. Shot's good by Chris Arzumanian. Expect that a lot more, Alec, out of Chris Arzumanian in order for this Kilikia team to try to get their first win in franchise history.
He's not shy, Rich. He's going to let it fly when he sees an opening. And, his dad being the coach is very much telling him to be aggressive, and he needs to be.
Sokol shoots at another sharpshooter in this league. Unable to convert there. Pozeshkin gets the pass from Rostomian. Left hand, no good. Rebound, Yazidzian. Yazidzian, one of the key defenders in this entire league, let alone probably the whole area. Gonzalez to Sokol. Sokol thinks about it, pass to Yazidzian instead. Great matchup here, Tahanian and Yazidzian. And, of course, Yazidzian always there, the Burbank High alumnus. 5:50 left in the first quarter, scores 10-8. Avan up by 2. Chris Arzumanian lets it fly once more, and that's a second airball. I don't think I've seen him airball twice in one day.
At times, Rich, it just feels like he's rushing his attempt.
Yeah.
You have to feel like you'll get that ball back on a better look later on.
Got to let that follow-through go. And stay as well. Ira Petian, the former D3 hooper from Knox College, shoots it, no good. Lots of shooting so far. Naturally, both teams undersized, respectively. And Alec, commonly the game is shifting, and I guess we should say it has shifted already, towards a small ball type of game, which favors shooting quite frequently. And you're a shooter yourself. How does that adjust your game, a guy that's been around the 2000s, the 2010s, and now the 2020s?
It's definitely fun because it's going to be a faster tempo game, Rich, but it also presents a lot of issues. If you are not a good three-point shooting team and you're switching misses constantly with layups on the other end, it does you no good. So you have to be able to get good attempts no matter what.
Good attempts, and with that, Coach Benoit Bullion wants to talk about it. So we're going to be right back. Maybe they can get some better attempts. But in the meantime, let's talk about the top scorers of the fall season 2023. At the top, we got Vernon Teal. We just watched him score 47, if I'm not mistaken, Alec.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
An amazing effort, Rich.
He's averaging 46.5. Ron Coleman with 35. Tevan Khudatian with 34. Ivan Dooley with 30.4. And Gavin Sharoyan at 29. Something this list also doesn't include Austin Cole at 29 points per game, and Alex Sokol right there behind him at 28.
Rich, how many players in any league can you name that would average above 40 points? It's just Vernon Teal amazes me week in and week out with his performances.
I think the only league I can think of is when Wilt Chamberlain was playing, and I don't know if that was the ABA or if that was the NBA. That's before my time. That's a question for Surin Arzumanian, a guy that knows these kind of things verbatim. And currently looking at Anto Balian has entered the building, Academy USA, looking to improve their record as well. Chris Arzumanian has it on the right-hand side. 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Rostomian wants Cobra going to the other side, wants an ISO against Rene Gonzalez. Finds Pozeshkin. Pozeshkin thinks about it, dilly-dallies against Gonzalez, shoots it above, and a tough shot, Alec. And Ira Petian brings it up the other way. McCurchin, he's feeling it, and he makes it. McCurchin with the 3.
A nice pickup for them this season, Rich.
Yeah, definitely.
Coming over from the Armen's club, I believe.
Great recognition by Aron Pozeshkin on that play, knowing that Harag Yazidzian, though a great defender, does not really go for the swatting of the shot in itself. And Sokol shoots it, still unsuccessful there. But Alex McCurchin, pretty high scoring today from him already. And, Alex McCurchin, you mentioned, right? He's one of those players that has tons of experience. A guy that played, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, Alamany with Gary Chavichin. One of those players that has great experience in the Los Angeles basketball area.
Oh, big time. Every time I see him on the court, it just seems like he's settled in and doesn't go outside of his role at all. And being coached by Benoit Bullion, who's one of the most fundamental and technical coaches in the league, it's a great fit.
Definitely. McCurchin to Gonzalez, had it tipped, but Ira Petian shoots it, no good. Rebound to Hanian off to Cobra. Finds Pozeshkin. Arzumanian wants it. Pozeshkin doesn't see it. Gonzalez guarding Pezeshkian. Rostomian has it. Great pass to Tahanian. Gotta watch out for that. He's gonna go up, but unfortunately Tahanian doesn't get it there. Ira Petyan has Yazijian now. And a foul called, a good foul, dare I say, Alec?
It looks like you wanted that, Rich.
Yeah.
Chris wanted that foul. And these NBA referees, I've seen it a couple of times now, are wanting to call that as a transition take foul that the NBA is known for, but this is more of a European style.
Sokol shoots it one more time. No good. Sokol still trying to find his rhythm. We know it's there. It's just a matter of turning it on. Rostomian, ooh. Cobra was looking to cut, but Rostomian was trying to pass. And already we got a substitutions checking into the game for Kilikia. Number 7, Edric Rostomian.
Rich, you mentioned Sokol. He did not miss a 3 when he played against Arabuni and ourselves. And, you know, he can light it up at any given time. And all he needs to see is one go in.
Easily. Yazijian at the high post. Finds Gonzalez, 2 seconds on the shot clock. He's going to have to let it fly. No good. And it touched rim. And Sokol still can't get his rhythm going. Pezeshkian at the top of the key. Guarded by McCurchin. Drives and foul with the body on McCurchin. That's going to be his first personal. No foul trouble on either side. I mean, that's only our first foul for Avan, and there's 1 foul for Kilikia. Excuse me, that's our second foul for Avan and the first for Kilikia. For those in the Glendale area or really anywhere in the Los Angeles area, make sure to check out Mossie's Kebab, their flagship location on Colorado and Glendale Avenue. So, Alec, question for you. I only became a great free throw shooter and a better shooter overall at the later stages of my career. Would you say it goes hand in hand if you're a good sharp shooter? Or are you a great free throw shooter?
It's actually funny that you say that because free throws are a little bit of an unorthodox shot. You know, no one is guarding you. You're standing around, and you don't have a true rhythm. So it's a little bit different. You really have to have a rhythm compared to a normal shot, which can sometimes be out of rhythm.
And 2 3-pointers back-to-back while we were having that conversation, Alec. One by Gonzalez in the corner, another by the newly arrived Rostomian, already making his mark in this stat sheet. Sokol looking to drive it. You can tell already he's trying to find other areas in scoring. And the referee calls a foul on Rostomian during the drive from Alex McCurchin on the right-hand side. Taking out a sideline is Alex McCurchin. Gets it into Ira Petyan. And Kilikia's in this 2-3 defense, something they've been known for, but haven't necessarily been successful in, mainly due to Harut Tahanian not being available in the middle. And clearly you can already tell that's an effect. Too strong of a pass by Cobra. That's going to go out of bounds into the hands of the powdered blue jerseys.
Rich, when you're in a 2-3 zone, you're obviously trying to pack in that paint a little bit more, force some outside shots, but you also can't stand around. You have to be active. And at times, a zone is harder to play than a man-to-man.
Ira Petyan to Gonzalez. He's going to let it fly once more. Felt good, but it wasn't. And Chris Arzumanian on the right-hand side. Outnumbered, no fast break opportunity. Pass it to Rostomian. Harut Tahanian wants it down low. 48 seconds on the clock now, but a steal by McCurchin. And he blows the layup. Arzumani on the other end, looking to make a turn. And it's good. You snooze, you lose. Chris Arzumanian finally gets that 3.
Big 5-point turnaround there, Rich.
Ira Petyan now. Gonzalez, Arzumanian all over it, but clearly a foul. Arzumanian recognizes it. Third team foul on Kilikia. Excuse me, second team foul on Kilikia. Kilikia now up by 2 against Avan. Sokol to McCurchin. Guarded by Rostomian at the top. Irapetian has the ball, 6 seconds. He's going to have to make a decision here. 3 seconds now, and no good. Irapetian still was after it, but now we got 7 seconds, Alec. They're going to have to make a decision here. Rostomian on the left-hand side's open. Possession's going to take it all the way. And no good for Arjen Possession. With that ends our first quarter. Scores 20-18. We'll be back after a few. And welcome back to the AABA Pro-Am Basketball League. Second quarter close to underway. Avan versus Kilikia. Kilikia out of the playoff race. However, still nothing set in stone for Avan, looking to get a better positioning in their playoff bracket. Regular season done after our 4:30 game, Alec. Heading into the playoffs. Numerous teams in the race. Irapetian has the ball. Passes Sokol. He's going to let it fly. No good. Cobra to Rostomian off the rebound. Rostomian, no numbers, but finds Possession. Tahanian behind him. Finds him. Thinks about it. Goes up, takes his time, and as he should, Tahanian making that difference already in the paint. Scores 22-18. Irapetian brings it up. Dishes it to Herjazigian. Great pump fake. Great passing by this Avan team. Irapetian, he's looking to knock it down. No good, but straight to Herjazigian. Do you give him the assist, Alec?
I think he wants to get that. It looked like a miss, though.
Oh, Possession wide open. Can't let him shoot from there. And he makes it. Unorthodox shot, clearly, but it goes in. It goes in, Alec.
Rich, I remember watching him as a kid, and he was such a great talent early on. And everyone was kind of looking at Armand as the secondary brother at times. Wow. But Arjen has a lot of talent, and you can just see he has the repetition. Still a close game here, Rich. Both teams in a good rhythm, I would say. This Avan group, though, how important do you see Cole and Kaluna being? I mean, it's so obvious, right away.
I mean, the offensive game is completely, shall I say, their game is off. Clearly, I mean, on offensive end, it's off. On defense, they're solid. As long as they can handle their end on the offensive end, this Avan team is going to come up on top. However, Kilikia, on the other hand, they're going to have to figure out their defensive aspect of things. So this is interesting. Like you mentioned, there's rhythm on both ends, but only in an area that they're successful in. Irapetian cross-court pass to Sokol. Sokol's going to try to take it all the way. No good, but a foul going up. He's going to get 2 free throws. For Alex Sokol. Alex Sokol, we talked about, Alec. This guy can shoot the lights out. And it's a wonderful thing when it keeps going, but I hate it when it's against me. So we saw it happen against us, yeah. Got to give a thank you to our friends at IMEG for all the support that they give us.
Yeah, Rich, he's just been a little off today, and we saw it in that first game too. Star players for each team that come out a little off need to find ways in between to just get themselves back on track. Usually for a shooter, they want you to see the ball go in the rim, right? And a free throw is a great way of doing that, but you even saw it there on his first attempt, just a little off.
Yeah. Sokol able to convert the second.
As Manuel gives a little bit of a sarcastic laugh and clap. He knows he's struggling and just wants him to get back on track.
And a great positioning for Yazigian. And dare I say, actually I was talking about this with our producer, Joe Babikian earlier. We were talking about how the best charge takers in this league has to be Brandon Tillis, and Harag Yazigian is up there too. I mean, of course, I brought up my own name too, but
I was about to say, Rich, you're skipping over a major name.
I got to be humble, man. If there's anything Kendrick Lamar has taught me, I got to be humble.
No, I'm not just saying this, Rich. You, along with a couple of these other guys here, just do a great job putting your body on the line. You know, I broke my hand as a kid taking a charge, and I learned really quickly, never put your hand under your body when you take a charge.
No. Always, I call it the penguin rule. I taught my girls basketball team, the 17U girls team, how to take charges, and once they learned, they were like, oh my God, I wish I knew this earlier. McCurchin finds Ira Petsian, tries to shift his guys, but 2 and 3 is defense. Sokol with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Gonzalez is going to have to shoot, and no good, but Sokol there to grab a rebound. Straight to Yazigian. Ira Petsian with the shot. No good. Another blue jersey looks to get it, but there go the men in yellow.
Great effort there by Kilikia on defense.
And a foul going up, and a lot more aggressiveness coming from Kilikia down the lane. Dare I say they've been pushing this basketball a lot higher.
They really have to, Rich. You can't just settle for threes like they did in the first quarter. They know that they're an up-tempo team, and they can sense the fact that Avan is a little bit tired here without any subs, and they're going to have to keep pushing that ball. Good offensive rebound there.
Rostomian with the rebound. Yeah, he shoots it. It's good. Rostomian extends this lead to 6 points, their biggest so far. This 2-3 defense working out so far, Alec, as long as Sokol's not making his shots. Cobra, he's guarding Sokol, and Sokol again in and out. Posseshkin finds Arzumanian, tough pass. Oh, Rostomian's open. He wants it. Posseshkin has it. This motion offense for Kilikia has been beneficial for them at times. Tahanian looks to get a post move on Yazigian. Goes in front, and an and one, Tahanian. Harut Tahanian gets big against one of the best defenders in this entire league, as you can see in your instant replay, using the body to the benefit.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup down low. And if you're Avan, you have to be careful. I'm not sure how many fouls Harag has on him right now, but without any subs, that's something that Kilikia should take advantage of, going down inside more.
And is that something you think Coach Haraj Arzumanian is harping in their ears right now? Keep pushing that ball up. We got enough to rotate, but at the same time, you can't be fouling left and right.
Yeah, it's definitely something that he's probably preaching to that group. And then you have to look at it and say they're about, I want to say maybe 5 to 10 years younger all around than Avan is, so you have no excuse.
And an and one. He hadn't made a shot yet, and he started his first bucket with an and 1-3, Alec. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but that was an emphatic play. As you can see on your instant replay, a little bit of contact, yeah.
Yeah, you can't get in the landing space of the shooter, and like you said, Rich, the toughest one he gets to go.
Yeah. And a timeout called by Kilikia after that one. 32-27. We'll be back after a few. And we are back at Academy USA, home of the AABA Pro-Am Basketball League here in Glendale, California. Your hosts, or shall I say commentators, Rich O'Moyen and my buddy over here, Alec Karamanian. Kilikia already up by 5. 6 minutes left to go. Harach Arzamanian wanted to talk it over after an and one three-pointer by Alex Sokol, for those that missed it. And while I say that, Rostomian misses at the other end. Sokol passes it. McCurchin gets a pass back, and this is how you get your rhythm back, Alec. Going to the rim, getting a little bit of more action instead of watching that shot missed a couple of times in a row. And that's one of the things that veterans like Alex Sokol do a great job of.
Rich, he has not allowed his bad shooting performance to get in the way of him being aggressive. He started a little shaky, missing probably his first 4 or 5 attempts, but we saw it just to end that first quarter. He got that 3-point attempt and 1 to go, and I think that's going to really push him in this quarter.
Alex Sokol converts. Harutanian thinks about it, goes up. It's good. And we're talking about Sokol. I have to mention a lot of TBL teams currently interested in Alex Sokol, especially after the game against Arabuni. Good to see our league growing. Rene Gonzalez finds Irapetian, puts on the line. It's a 2. Rostomian to Posseshkin. Tries to get Irapetian off him. Irapetian still there like a mad dog. Great defense by him. Shoots it once more. No good. Rebound Cobra. Rostomian. Oh, great dribble off. Wow.
Ooh, nice.
That was great. Cobra now. It's good. Sion Cobra with a pass from Posseshkin. And score like that is 37-31. McCurchin thinks about it. Cross pass, very difficult one. Sokol lets it fly, and he's starting to feel it.
Yeah, I don't know if I love that steal attempt because you leave such a deadly shooter wide open.
Especially in a zone, Alec. And Posseshkin with the rebound. And this is what I was talking about, Alec. Clearly, of course, Harut Tahanian's presence down low has really added a key piece to this Kilikia offense. However, Posseshkin has come alive in the paint, let alone from afar. Now it's a 1-on-2 opportunity. Now it's a 2-on-3. Arzamanian thinks about it, tries to get some spacing. Posseshkin now face guarded by Alex McCurchin. Rostomian wide open. He's going to let it fly. No good. And a rebound by Alex McCurchin. Brings it down the lane in the middle. Looks to push it. Yazidjian goes up. Easy lay. It's good for the Burbank alumnus. 39-35 now. Avan down by 4. Less than 4 minutes left to go here in the half.
And you can
Great
see,
roll.
Rich, they switched off excuse me. Who did they put? Rene Gonzalez is guarding Harut now. You got to go inside. You got to go inside to him.
A great pickpocket by Sion Cobra. Arzamanian thinks about it, shuffles his feet, looks to get another one. No good. Arzamanian relatively quiet after first 2 games, scoring more than 20. Posseshkin, no good. Rebound Tahanian goes up straight. It's good for Harut Tahanian. Harag Yazidjian, slow to get up. Good to see him doing well. And a timeout called by Avan, not trying to let this game get out of hand. We will be back after a few. Welcome back to Academy USA, home of the AABA Pro-Am League. Avan versus Kilikia. Kilikia up 41-35. McCurchin to Sokol. Sokol's going to let it fly. No good there.
Rich, right before we went to that timeout, you just had a sense of, I want to say deflation in a way from Avan. They only have 5 players. It is going to be a draining game as Arin Pezeshkian hits, putting the lead up 45-33 now. But it's just tough, really tough, Rich, playing without any subs.
No, definitely no subs, no energy. Tahanian grabs the rebound, finds Rostomian. Rostomian, no numbers, has never stopped Kilikia from shooting, though. Pezeshkian has found himself in a pickle. Rostomian comes to help. Other Rostomian grabs it. 7 seconds on the shot clock. 2 minutes on the game clock. Tahanian. And Alex McCurchin not doing well.
Tough to see that as he rolled his ankle there, hoping that it's just a sprained ankle. He's in a lot of pain, but, you know, hoping for the best here from him. Tough to see.
Well, folks, we have some unfortunate news. Alex McCurchin will not be entering back into the game. Unfortunately, he has an injury that he suffered on that last play that will not allow him to come back. The more, shall I say, as a team level of unfortunate news, Avan's going to have to continue the game with 4 players, Alec. Now, this is something that I personally have not dealt with before, and I don't wish this upon anyone else. However, missing a key piece like Alex McCurchin that had a great start, what does this mean for Avan? And if you're Manuel Bullion, what are you telling your players?
It's tough, Rich. I've been a part of a game in the AABA very similar to this. One of our players took an elbow to the eye, had to go get stitches in the middle of the game. There's 2 parts to this. One is the emotional side that you can't forget about. You see a teammate go down with a possible ankle injury that you don't really know what it is. You just feel deflated. And then there's the basketball side, which makes you think, how can we play with 1 man down, right?
Yeah.
So it's just it's a tough mix. And, you know, maybe they might find a new level of energy for a few minutes, but ultimately playing down a man is just tough.
Well, we wish Alex McCurchin a speedy recovery, hoping it's only weeks and not months that he has to deal with this. And Ira Petian passes Sokol. Sokol lets it fly from afar. Rebound to Tahanian. Tahanian pushes it the other way. Rostomian to Possession. Possession's going to think about it. No. Rostomian pass it to the wing. Arzamanian. Clearly outnumbering with the 5-on-4. Kilikia, if they don't take home this win, dare I say, not the ending that they would like, at least given the circumstances.
Rich, you can kind of see the overthinking already taking place for Kilikia. It's tough. It's tough playing an unorthodox game, you know. Yeah. So you got to just keep playing your style.
Mental is equally a part of this game as much as physical. Ira Petian looks to get his game going. Rostomian finds Arzamanian. Arzamanian wide open, lets it fly, can't get his rhythm going. Tahanian. Off to Arzamanian, he shoots the 3, still no good. Rebound Sokol. Ira Petian pushes the other way. Rostomian there to harass. So do you go to do you go to a man-to-man here, Alec, or do you stay in your zone?
I honestly would go to that man-to-man that you just said because it's just the most natural thing to do. Yeah, it's just going to be an interesting second half here, Rich.
Well, that's the end of the first half here at Academy USA. We'll be back with some more action. Avan with 4, Kilikia with 5, scores 47-36. We'll be back. And we're back at the second half of Kilikia versus Avan here at the AABA Pro-Am Basketball League at Academy USA. Armenian already opens up a shot for the second half. And for those that weren't with us in the first half, unfortunate news, Alex McCurchin hurt what experts are saying is a sprained ankle. However, we wish him a speedy recovery nonetheless. Avan playing with 4 after that. So it's going to be an interesting matchup here. You mentioned, Alec, the biggest key here is the mental aspect of this game. 5-on-4, not easy to play against as much as people think.
Yeah, and right away you've seen a couple of shot attempts just not going. And you would hope that on a 5-on-4 you don't settle for 3-point attempts.
Got to drive in.
Especially with Harut inside the paint.
They're going to rely on Sokol's shooting, and as I say it there, they're going to rely on Sokol's shooting heavily in order to get back into this game. Scores 47-38 now. It's Cobra on the right-hand side. Rostomian to Possession. Leaves him open, and he pays. Sion Cobra with the 3. And like you mentioned, don't settle for shots, but if it's open right there, you got to go into it and shoot it.
Friendly fire there, Rich. Alec running into his teammate.
And I'm not sure what happened there. I was just hoping there was no injury.
Herog is not somebody you want to run into, Rich. Such a big body.
It's like a brick wall. Body's an understatement. A brick wall. Let's call it what it is. Armenian, he lets it fly. And a miss. Cobra with another rebound. Possession. Interesting floater. It goes. Man. 52-38, 14-point lead now for this Kilikia team. Ira Petin gets it into the high post. Yazidzian to Sokol. No good. Rebound by the undersized Gonzalez. Gets it back to Sokol. Sokol's going to go. Oh, great block by Tahanian. He's right there. Armenian to Cobra. Thinks about the pass. Shoots it instead. It's good. The three-pointer. 55-38. This game's getting out of hand.
And we touched on it right when the injury happened, Rich. It's going to be tough, you know, emotionally, physically. It's going to wear on you, but you just have to find something if you're Avan.
Well, the importance of having a bench also, Alec, it's you know, other than the obvious, of course, you need backup. And in cases like this, no backup comes back to bite you. As Ira Petian, smooth lay
Great
for the
move.
former Knox College hooper. Possession to Cobra, to Rostomian. And it's good for Edgman Rostomian. And Alec, you're pretty familiar from your home and Etman days of playing basketball. This Kilikia team, known for their shooting style of gameplay, as Ira Petian gets another bucket. Would you say that what carries, would you say that the three-point shooting has always been instilled in these guys, or was the Warriors more of a reason why they became this?
Oh, that definitely has affected the landscape of basketball throughout any league, Rich. These guys just took it up a notch. In the last couple of years, they went to that fast tempo style. Again, a huge piece was Armon Possession pushing the ball up for them, but they've all kind of taken that role now of being a three-point shooter.
Yeah, no, definitely. I sometimes wonder who was a true shooter before the Curry days. I often wonder. You're a guy that I remember has always been a shooter, had that mentality, but not the, dare I say, alt-right
Yeah.
of extremists of a shooter as Warriors are today.
I was more of a fan of the old school shooters, Rich. A guy like Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, loved watching those guys. But, you know, the one guy that I loved as a kid, and people are always kind of surprised by my answer, is Robert Horry. Standstill three-point shooter.
Interesting.
Loved him. That's why I picked the number 5 as a kid, too. And as we look at our power rankings, do you see any movement? Let's take away this loss for Avan.
Yeah.
We know they weren't full force today. They still have to be considered a top 3 team, right, Rich?
You know, Alec, they still got to be. But at the same time, Academy USA has a game after this. Harazdan has a game after this. And you know what? Avan being ranked at the very top today does not mean anything. I mean, they're really just fighting for playoff seeding at this point. And Operon getting its third win already, their fourth win, has already moved on to really solidify that first place spot. So Avan is likely going to have to drop, but whether it's a number 2 or a number 5, it really is a vast landscape that they're working with. And we're back here at Academy USA. Ball is in possession in Kilikia. Armenian lets it fly. No good. Sokol with the rebound. No, in the hands of Rostomian instead, and Possession lets it fly. And another 3 for Possession.
Rich, you always bring up a point that I really like. You're only as good as your last game.
Yeah.
And if you're Avan, nobody's going to feel sorry for you having an injury, not having your full team. Kilikia is looking to get their first win of the season too. So
yeah,
every game, like you mentioned, is a winnable game for every team.
If Kilikia wins this match, they're going to be in a tiebreaker head-to-head with Arabuni. Of course, that match results in an Arabuni win. Kilikia out of the playoffs regardless of point differential. And another 3, this time by Chris Arzumanian. And if you're the head coach of Avan right now, there's nothing else you can do but sit down and cross your hands.
And that's just what Manuel
Oh, my God,
doing.
that's exactly what he's doing. I didn't even recognize that. And Ira Petian shoots it.
It must be tough, Rich, for Manuel. He's such a fundamental coach. Like I mentioned, losing your 5th player and you don't have any subs, your whole mindset just goes out the door, right? You have nothing you can really do besides ask the most out of the effort on your team.
His team brings it up. Sokol lets it fly, no good. Sokol has to get a lot more shots in. When I say shots in, just actually made. And Tahanian able to score it there. Now, Alec, if the result continues, now, of course, Kilikia would get its first win of its franchise, which is a big momentous moment for them. Ira Petian knocks out another 3. But for Avan, this is going to deflate you a lot going into the playoffs. And if I'm not mistaken, they're going to have to play the number 3 team or the number – they're going to have to play the number 3 team in whatever the group turns out to be on the other side.
Yeah, people don't realize how important seeding is for playoffs. You don't want to end up playing a team like an Aragats or a Armenians in the first round. And I haven't really taken a look at the seeding because it's just changing every single game. But that's the potential when you lose a game that you shouldn't. So it's going to be interesting.
And Alec, that brings up a very good point. You were just talking about in terms of the standings. As of right now, if the standings were to stay, Avan will likely drop. If Arabuni wins today, Avan would stay above Arabuni. They would be the 3rd spot, and therefore they would have to play the number 2 team, which would be either Academy USA or Harazdan or Artsakh. It really just depends. So, yeah, all of which are very tough competitors.
And I'll tell you, Rich, I would not want to see Harazdan in a first-round matchup. That team is coming together right before the playoffs, getting everyone here, and they're on a mission, you know. I mean, anytime you're the defending champion, you have something to prove.
Can't give too many personal comments on that, but what I can say is in the playoffs, any team can be any team, like you mentioned. However, when you got emotion involved, like Harazdan has a chip on their shoulder that they're really trying to get ahead of themselves on. Like, for example, you also have Artsakh that had the mentality of wanting to win against Operon today. They didn't necessarily seal the deal, but they did look good for the first three quarters. And a 3-second call by our All-NBA referee crew that we've been talking about, Alec. Quite the crew, led by Musa Dagger, JT Orr, and Justin Van Doyen. Sokol misses it, gets it back, pass it to Gonzalez this time, and it's good. 72. 21-point game here. A minute and a half to go in the third quarter. Arzumanian thinks about it, Alec, but he passed it to Rostomian instead. Tahanian to Arzumanian. And it's good for Chris Arzumanian.
Yeah, if you're Kilikia, you can't finish this game fast enough. You're up by 20 plus, playing against a team of 4. You just want to take the victory as quick as you can, but there's still a full quarter left. So you can't get away from the small things either.
Leading scorer for Kilikia today, Aran Pazeshkin with 24. Chris Arzumanian with 17. Tahanian 14 as this is his first match. And Sokol with the 3. It's good. Alex Sokol has 21 for Avan, and Ali Kairapetian with 12, and Haragi Azijian with 10. Sorely missing Alex McCurchin, who had 7 points at the time of his injury. Tahanian shoots it. No good. Sokol looks to push it. Could an offensive effort be made before the third quarter to get him some kind of momentum? Kairapetian lets it fly. No good. Rebound Azijian, of course. And a loose ball foul on Rostomian.
First foul of the quarter from either team, Rich. And that's what happens when it's such an open game.
Can't complain on my end, of course. I love a game that doesn't have too many fouls. All I do is just turn my head left and right and keep communicating. Alex Sokol, great move. Gets his guy in the air. Looks to go up again. No good for Alex Sokol. Arzumanian's going to let it fly for the buzzer. No good. After 3 quarters, the score is 76-57. Kilikia up. We'll be back with more after a few. Welcome back to Academy USA, home of the AABA Pro-Am Basketball League. On your screen, you will notice the power rankings for this season. Operon at the very top, updated power rankings, shall I say. Academy USA at that second spot in their group. Artsakh, Armenian, and then Aragats. So these are the teams to beat, Alec. Clear as day. What do you think?
No doubt that Operon is easily the #1 best team right now because of that combination of Vernon, Teal, and Dooley.
Keyword right now, you said.
Right now. But obviously a lot of great teams making their way up the charts. And we're going to see some more later on today. But, you know, this Avan group, we've mentioned it multiple times, missing a few key players. They're a type of a team in that power ranking that I think we all agree. When it comes to playoff time, they're just always in the mix.
Shot by Kairapetian, no good. Yazijian worked hard for it, but didn't get it. Rostomian. And the easy lay becomes a miss. Kairapetian gives it to Gonzalez. Looks to get some kind of life going through Sokol. No good. Tahanian with the rebound. Pazeshkin brings it on the left-hand side. Reminder, Avan is playing with 4 players entering the fourth quarter at least. Tahanian with the rebound. Cobra. He shoots it. And he gets the friendly bounce, and it's good. Sion Cobra, what a shot. Usually you're blaming the FIBA ball, but this time it came to your advantage.
I personally like playing with this basketball, Rich. It has extra laces than a normal Wilson that most people are used to. And I think that helps get your rhythm, get those fingers on those laces when you're about to shoot it.
Are you a Wilson Evo guy?
Oh, love the Wilson Evo. But you know,
don't
Rich,
sleep on the Spalding TF, though.
The TF 1000 back in the day was the best basketball I ever played with. But they changed it. They changed it.
It's like...
You remember when the NBA changed the ball and how everyone went crazy?
We should have done that. We should have revolted. We should have protested like Shaq. Watch Spalding's stock go down and everything.
I think that hurt. That hurt Spalding. And you see it now. They're not even the main ball for the NBA.
Yeah. Imagine there's a correlation between that and that. I mean, I was in Armenia when they changed the basketball. And I was playing on NBA Live 2007. So I remember it clearly that the basketball was used in NBA Live 2007, but they stopped it in the third month. So we were still playing with that basketball. There was never an update because it's not 2023 where you get an update like a light switch.
Yeah, it like lowered everyone's percentage. Players complaining that they were getting blisters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the percentage. You can't forget about that for the basketball players. And Rostomian gets a bucket there.
It's really funny, though, how something so small to the normal eye, like a basketball or a three-point line change, can affect the game. The three-point line is no joke, Rich. It's a far shot, and that's why when we talk about three-point attempts, it's easy to fall in love with it, and there's a reason why you're open sometimes.
Definitely, and we got ourselves a timeout here. Scores 81-64, 6:27 left to go here in the fourth quarter. We will be back after our challenge under review. And we are back at Academy USA, home of the AABA Pro-Am Basketball League. Commentating team dropped by half. Just going to be me with you. If you don't like that, you can, I don't know. I don't know where we're going with this. Chris Arzamani with the ball, gives it to Rostomian. Gonzalez with the rebound. He's going to push it up for one last opportunity, or shall I say last few minutes of opportunity for Avan. Good tip by Yazijian, known for that. Yazijian goes up. It's good for Harag Yazijian. Scores now 83-64. No fouls on the board. Don't imagine seeing too many. Rostomian lets it fly. It's good. The three-pointer from way downtown. (86-64), 5:40 left in the game. Sokol finds the open man in the corner. Irapetian dilly-dallies his way, finds Yazijian, but no spacing there. And Cobra, he's had quite the game so far, continues his offensive campaign. Man, Cobra can shoot. His first season here in the AABA. Irapetian asking for a screen from Yazijian. Dribbles his way, finds Sokol. Sokol lets it fly. No good. And Sokol still struggling from the three-point line. Only 3 of 14. Man, what a tough night. Rostomian from NBA range. It's good. And Rostomian continues. look, Avan's resiliency in terms of pushing, nonetheless with only 4 players, is something admirable. And Haragi Zijan lets it fly. Not known for that, but he can pop it. But like I was saying, Avan's resilience here is a true testament to their team missing half of their guys. Missing Austin Cole, Akko Kaluna, unfortunately missing Alex McCurchin to injury. Sarbel Hatami, Sarkis Garoyan. And another 3 for Kilikia. It's getting out of hand. My producer, Joe Babikian, helping me about the notes on what to talk about, encouraging me to talk about my breakfast. Well, if you want to know what I had for breakfast, I actually had bread and breakfast actually for for my breakfast. I used the word breakfast like 7 times in one sentence. Jeez, and there it is. It pops up on the screen. Yes. Bread and breakfast. Known for their Bastama burritos. Our team working hard. Fanzia producing our content. And Rostomian once more. No good. Tahanian with the rebound. Cobra looking to add more to his stats. Oh, thank God the stats won't see that. Already getting ready here at Academy USA. 3 NBA regulation size courts. We have Harazdan and Academy USA going to play a heated match, fighting for that number 2 spot. Rostomian gives it to Arzumanian. Doesn't even consider the shot. Tahanian airballs right into the hands of Sokol. Sokol, 3 of 15 from the 3-point today and gets a turnover, unfortunately. The ball was tipped, though. Yazijan, no good. Arzumanian lets it fly. It's good for Chris Arzumanian. Chris Arzumanian, known for youth coaching, coaches at Los Angeles Select Basketball, AAU club, based here in Academy USA. Well, folks, the fans are asking who's going to be the player of the game. Maybe too early to say, but R.M. Pazeshkin so far has been a formidable case for player of the game announcements with 24 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. As we're heading into our last minute and a half of the game. Tahanian, high flyer. Surprised we haven't seen a dunk from him today. And a shot's good by Tahanian. And with that, the match has been called. And Ira Petian shoots it. Just a minute left. Everyone's encouraging him, just end this game. And another 3 by Cobra. He is, for today, he has been 6 of 10. 60% shooting by Cobra. Sokol gets a 3 in. Man, what a tough game it's been for Sokol. Going 4 of 17 from the 3-point line. And got to give a major thank you to our friends over at Fanzia, fanzia.io, by the fans, for the fans, specializing in sports marketing. So if you are interested in any kind of development of your sports league, they're the guys to talk to. Fanzia.io, make sure to give them a shout out, give them a like and a follow on Instagram. along with all the platforms that you so choose. Today's match ended in 104-70. Definitely going to be something considered around the league. And our player of the game today is Armenian Possession. Scored 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 assists. We'll be right back with the player of the game. We are here live with the player of the game today. Kilikia's first win in franchise history. And Armenian Possession, you are the player of the game today. You had 24 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. What kind of motivation were you guys coming into the game towards the end of the season?
Yeah, we hadn't won a game yet. It's our first tournament together. We wanted to come in and compete. This game didn't really matter standing-wise, but we just wanted to come out, play hard, get a first win as a team, and get ready for the next tournament. We started getting used to each other every game. So I think next season we're going to be a threat.
How big was the addition of Harut Tahani? I know you guys were missing him for the majority of the season, and he came in today, added a lot more aggressiveness in the paint. How important is it going to be next season around having a guy in the paint to kind of stretch you guys out and have more oomph in the paint?
Yeah, we're a relatively small team, so we need that big presence in the middle. Harut's a really big presence. He can run the court, he can rebound, he can do a lot of things. So we're looking forward to having him at every game.
And Arjen, a lot of people after their first season, we call it the expansion curse. You guys are the only team that has won a game in their first season. So what kind of mentality are you guys coming in next season? Should we expect any roster changes? What you got in store?
Roster changes, I don't know. Maybe add one big guy in case Harut can't make it to the game, because otherwise we're all guards. But other than that, I think we're starting to get the chemistry together. I think we can really compete, and we're going to come out with the bang next season.
Ladies and gentlemen, your player of the game, Armenian Possession. Thank you so much. Enjoy the offseason, and make sure to check out Academy USA versus Harazdan Basketball Club. Has to be a great one, both fighting for the playoffs in terms of their seeding.